This picture shows Miss Lansford's class doing their bell ringer. In this particular picture, the students had the opportunity to work on Schoology or do it as a group on paper. And so the differentiating strategy here would be within the process. And this addresses their learning profile, just how they like to learn. Many wanted to work independently, some preferred to work in groups. Many wanted to work using their technology, and others would rather use paper and pencil. So this actually addressed a process as well as content. Students were given multiple topics on their bell work. So this really appealed to their interests, just addressed their interests to maximize their learning. So students were able to choose the content type that they were most interested in to perform their bell work. I really enjoyed watching this particular strategy for differentiation. This was particularly in the process term to consider with differentiation. This one just allowed for a varied opportunity to gain access to the content. So this was a co-teach situation, and Miss Massey was walking around helping those that may need extra help with gaining the knowledge for the information. And this really addressed the learning profile, just allowed the student to have access to additional help, additional information, and maybe collaborate as well, because many learner profiles are centered upon that of collaboration with other students and other people in the room. And so I really enjoyed watching this particular differentiation strategy, just because you got to see the students really working with the co-teacher and using her as a resource. This particular activity was referred to as the Astro Lab, and this allowed her 8th grade students to really prove their understanding of the content that they've been discussing when it comes to Astro Lab, and address their readiness to the information that they have learned in the previous class period. They were able to apply much of their real life experience into their Astro Lab and how they could actually use it in real life. So this particular activity was differentiated, first of all, in the process. So these two students in particular were invited to go into the hallway to work independently, because she felt that they had gained that independence and were able to work through the lab by themselves, and if they needed each other, they could work with each other as well, while others in the class worked as a group to get this done. So this was a process differentiation as well as product. They were able to, decide if they wanted to do the 2D or the 3D image, just kind of based on their level of interest in the particular topic. In order to decide how she was going to divide them up, I thought it was interesting, her technique. She used the fruits example. So she had many students, she had her entire class do a pre-assessment, a real quick pre-assessment the class period before, based on their level of knowledge and how well they knew the information. She took those results and then categorized them within fruits, so that it would be an anonymous categorization, and was able to allow those who the fruit, let's say it was a banana, they were able to go out into the hallway because they had a firm grasp understanding of the content. While others, let's say that they were apples, they stayed within the classroom and worked in groups and worked with the co-teacher as well as the educator. So this was process, this was product, and a little bit of content as well. Many of Ms. Lansford's differentiation strategies were awesome. One in particular was her strategy with product when it came to her Astro Lab. I really enjoyed watching how the students could take the information and really relate it to their own life. And that really helped the educator understand their level of understanding and the level of difficulty in the information. So we were able to really gauge their readiness to the information. I feel that this is a picture of my 4th period science class. I feel that I could really incorporate something like that, in particular to a lab situation where they're going to be asked to identify different materials And for instance, this is equipment. So, and really, I could just really take that a step further with product differentiation and just have them kind of describe what they think they could use these things for in their own life, and where they've seen stuff like this before. Just really have them relate it to their own life to show their ability to understand what it's used for and how they could use it. And that's just something that I thought about that I could use in a lab that I've already done this year, but I can incorporate next year, just to kind of give them that level of connection with the material.